But this happened multiple times. She kept coming to me and asking me to tone down the way I eat, even accusing me of going out of my way to choose sexy potatoes. I've considered bringing them other ways.
What does that mean?
Mom, this has to stop. You're not being reasonable. I'm not interested in dating men, she said. Katie, clearly the lesbian thing isn't working out for you. Why not give it a shot?
You can't get no bitches.
But before I could she put her hand on my waist and she kissed me. And guys, what a kiss. What a effing kiss.
Welcome back to Sus Reddit Stories, Part 2. This time we are playing roulette with some crazy Reddit stories, from around the internet, my good folks. The rules today for roulette are pretty simple. They are if something freaky happens, if something illegal happens, and if there is a school story, I will be spinning the wheel. If you don't know roulette, it's pretty simple here. I add 20 chatters to the wheel, and I spin it every time one of the things that I just said happens. And if it lands on you, you are booted from the game, and the last one standing wins. Today, I'm thinking I give away the last VIP that I have, because I'm out of money. I've given away too much money. So, with that being said, let's hop into it. I do want to say this. I have tried to make sure these Reddit stories aren't just gooner stories about effing sisters and dads and brothers. I was tired of that last time. Without further ado.
My mom won't stop trying to set my gay self up with men, so my best girlfriend and I are going to fake an engagement. I'm 25 and came out as a lesbian over 10 years ago, but my mom is somehow still convinced that it's a very, very long phase. My dad was cool with me being gay, but unfortunately he passed away a few years ago, and
Rips.
since then my mom has been gung-ho about me marrying a man so I can continue the family before it dies out, like we're the effing Kennedys or something, and death is around the corner for all of us. I've tried to be patient with her because I know she's grieving, and I've told her multiple times that
She
being
said,
a lesbian
"Please, I
does
want
not
a
mean I can't
family."
give her grandchildren, but she will
Okay.
not let it go. Every time I see her she's showing me pictures of her friends' sons and begging me to meet them for coffee.
She says it's still just a phase. She's like, you're 30 now, but it's still just a phase. It's just a phase.
To see if there's something there. I have told them that unless that something is these guys telling me they're ready to make a big life change, it is not going to work out. But she's relentless. It's become a running joke with me and my friends, especially my best friend, Annie. Annie and I were roommates in college and we've stayed super close. I was so worried about being roommates with a girl because I was worried she'd be really uncomfortable with the gay thing. But Annie was totally cool with it, and
Nice.
she and her boyfriend always let me third wheel with them and joked that we were a throuple, even though they were both totally straight, so nothing actually ever happened with me and her, and definitely not with him. Ew. So it just became a thing where I'd send Annie the crazy texts from my mom telling me about how she swore she found my Prince Charming this time. Last week, I went home to see my mom, and Annie was making me laugh the whole drive, texting me things like, "Katie, it's mom. I found a sultan who wants to buy you," and "Katie, it's mom again. I found a lizard in my backyard. I'm pretty sure it has a pee-pee. You in?" So I got to my mom's house, and I swear, she didn't even let me get all the way out of the car before it started. She was giddy, like jumping up and down, and she couldn't wait to tell me that her boss's son was getting divorced, and he's gorgeous and rich and I'm just his type.
Let's capitalize on this. Let's capitalize on this.
Maybe that's why his marriage didn't work out, and she's already told him that I want to get dinner with him, so all I need to do is show up at the restaurant. Isn't that great? I took a deep
Buddy. Wait, let me just pause you there. If he's already looking for dinner after a divorce, he's just trying to smash for a rebound night, ma. He's not marrying her. He's looking for something to put his willy in and call it a day. Ma is wildin'. That mom sounds like my grandma. Mom is wildin'.
deep breath and said, "Mom, this has to stop. You're not being reasonable. I'm not interested in dating men," she said. "Katie, clearly the lesbian thing isn't working out for you. Why not give it a shot?" I have to admit that stung a little. The truth is, I have been
You
single.
can't get no bitches. Hey, yo, clearly you can't get no bitches, bro. Just call it a day, bro. You ain't paused nothing. You ain't 10 years.
Told him that I want to get dinner with him, so all I need to do
Oh,
is show
that's
up at the
so
restaurant.
funny.
Isn't that great? I took a deep breath and said, "Mom, this has to stop. You're not being reasonable. I'm not interested in dating men," she said. "Katie, clearly the lesbian thing isn't working out for you. Why not give it a shot?" I have to admit that stung a little. The truth is, I have been single for a really long time. I've never had a serious relationship, honestly, and it's not for lack of trying. I feel like I fall for girls really hard and fast and they just don't like me that much. It's
Damn.
tough. So her saying that she was trying to set me up with men not just because she didn't want me to be a lesbian, but because she thought that I was failing at being a lesbian.
It's
Ouch.
crazy.
I cut the visit as short as I reasonably could and FaceTimed Annie on the drive home. She was livid on my behalf and spent a while gassing me up, telling me I could have any girl I wanted and lots of other.
Ooh, hold on. Wait. So someone just said it's gay. It's illegal to be gay in certain places, so we should spin for that. Is that true? I mean, it is illegal to be gay in certain places. That's true. Do you feel like it's spin-worthy true? That's true. That's like spin-worthy true. The Middle East. So that means we are playing from the Middle East rules right now, is what you're saying. Once you do this, we cannot switch back to America. Once you do this, we cannot. Once we are in the Middle East, we are in the Middle East now. We must play by their rules. All right. So no pork. No alcohol, blood, gambling, charging interest, and dishonest actions like theft and lying. Adultery, fornication, and premarital relationships are prohibited. I don't see gay up here, but what do you think? I think leave my good people out of this. That's what I think. Spin? No. No spin. No spin. No spin. I was just testing. Enjoy that one, because the next one is going to land on band 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
They're untrue but very sweet things. Even, but because she thought that I was failing at being a lesbian. Ouch. I cut the visit as short as I reasonably could and FaceTimed Annie on the drive home. She was livid on my behalf and spent a while gassing me up, telling me I could have any girl I wanted and lots of other untrue but very sweet things.
Annie might like you.
Said, I just wish I had a girlfriend so I could rub it in her face. I mean, I wish I had a girlfriend for a lot of other, better reasons. But rubbing it in her face is definitely up there. And she said, F girlfriend, you need a fiancé. You need to make her pay for a big gay wedding. I just laughed, but then after a minute I said, maybe I should just make up a relationship. Tell her I'm seeing someone to get her off my back. I'm not sure why I hadn't thought of that before, honestly. Sometimes I'm too honest for my own good, I think. But Annie said she's going to want proof. And then she paused and said, Katie, let's tell her we're engaged. I cracked up, but she said, I'm serious. She knows me. She loves me. Bring me home with you next time. We'll tell her I had some lesbian awakening and we've been secretly dating while we figured out if it was serious and now we're ready to make it official. U-Haul, call the caterers. I thought about it for a minute and said, and then even when it doesn't work out, it's proof that I can be in a serious relationship with a woman, so she won't think I'm the world's worst lesbian. We spent the rest of the drive home brainstorming. I know it's...
That is lying, though. That's lying. Under the law, actions like theft and lying. You're right. Real white beard! You're out of here.
So crazy, but like honestly, what do I have to lose at this point? Worst case scenario. Annie and I have a hilarious story about the time we catfished my mother in real life. And it's not like things with my mother could get worse than they are. Update number 1. Annie and I went to a thrift store and got some fake as hell big old diamond rings, then went out to lunch into a botanical garden so we could get some pictures of ourselves.
Oh, they going all the way.
Things. We couldn't stop giggling all day at how ridiculous this is. I can't believe we're actually doing this. I texted my mom telling her I'm coming home this weekend because I have big news. This is really happening. Oh my god. Update number 2. Annie and I figured out we needed pictures of a trip together to make it all look more legit, so we ended up blowing off work for a few days and driving to a vineyard and staying at this little resort. It was honestly so nice to get away for a while. We hadn't spent that much time just the two of us in ages, since Annie wasn't single until recently. We got to catch up and really talk for the...
Annie single. Annie just became single. Hold the phone. This could get nuts. This could get... Wait a minute. What if she like really... Hey, yo, first of all, Fed for the 13 biddies. That's a lot, bro. Thank you. And the gifted. Thank you. That's a lot. But what if this like... I hope they fall in love.
The first time in a while, and we just walked around drinking wine and looking in pretty poop and taking our little engagement pictures. It was really nice.
Alcohol? Consuming pork? Alcohol? That is haram. That is haram. Drinking wine? Nah. Spin twice. Wait, does that mean I spin one more time or spin 2 more times? 2 more times. Okay. Nitrous? You're out of here. One more spin. J-Flash. You're right here.
Update number 3. Went to see my mom with Annie today.
Oh, these are stories that they actually do part 2s and 3s for, bro. The issue with a lot of Reddit pages is they never hit us with a part 1 or part 2 or part 3. It'll be like, my stepmom got stuck in the washing machine and I started to undress her pants, but then, boom, the zipper got stuck. Drop a like for part 2. Bro, what do we mean? Drop a like. Give me the part 2.
Got out of the car and just shoved those rings right in her face. All look, mom. Surprise. Huh. Surprised is the understatement of the century.
That's what I'm talking about.
She's met Annie a bunch of times and really does like her, but I think she'd been hoping that Annie was going to help turn me straight eventually. Annie told her that ever since she and her boyfriend broke up, she'd been reconsidering her feelings for men, and spending all this time with me made her realize that I'd always been the closest person to her in her life.
Oh,
Besides
wow.
the part where she broke up with her boyfriend, literally none of that is true, obviously, but she
Is it,
really
though?
sold it. By the end of the day together, my mom was actually getting on board. We were talking about wedding venues, y'all. I could not stop laughing on the drive home. Everything was perfect, except there was like a weird moment with Annie. I was complimenting her on her performance with my mom and how her lesbian egg-cracking moment was like something out of a movie, and she just got kind of quiet. I hope she didn't
Whoa.
think I was calling her story cheesy or something.
No, I think
thought
she
it was
might be
sweet.
like, yo.
For a straight girl, she really nailed the lesbian angst vibe. Anyway, I think it's fine. Update number 4. It's been a few months since I updated, so here's what's up.
Tell
First
me.
of all, to everyone saying that Annie is in love with me, she is straight. I told you. She suggested
Bro, I
this-
think she's in love with you, bro. I think this could be the ending of the greatest story ever. No. She's single right now. She's not with the boyfriend. She is single. She is single, man. She is not with her home. Fed has just said the most amazing thing ever. That is a lot, bro. Chat, whoever gets spun out and they don't have a sub, I'll low-key gift y'all till my card declines. Massive nutsack gang W right there. That's insane. Massive dubs in the chat. I didn't know NSG would have money like that. Make sure you gift an extra 10 for me too. I deserve it. You're right, 100. You're right, 10 not enough. 100.
This is a joke. Y'all read too much fanfic. The rest of you all wanted to know when exactly we're planning to call off the wedding, and well about that. So I met Annie for lunch the other day to address that very question, because our wedding date is rapidly approaching. We're getting very close to the time that they'll refund the deposits on all this poop my mother has bought sort of rapidly.
Oh my
approaching.
God, Mom
So we
is
sat down
fucking
together to try
going
and figure
crazy
out
for the
when how to
wedding.
cancel the wedding.
Oh
And I think
my
we were
God.
both kind of dancing around the subject that calling it off sounded miserable, like it'll hurt my mom so much.
Oh
And it
my
might send me
God.
right.
They went this far? Y'all went this far? Oh my gosh.
Back to where I started with her thinking I'm a terrible lesbian, because sure, now she'll think I've been in a serious relationship, but look how that ended. Clearly I need a man. And honestly, the wedding my mom has planned sounds lit, and I would like to go to it, please. Thank God for Annie, because finally she was like, do you want to just get to the wedding and see what happens? She
What?
laughed and said, I'm tired of being alone. It's not like it has to be a real marriage. We could still date other people, but we'd always have someone that we know we can count on, and that sounds kind of nice, I said. And if we get to the wedding and we decide we don't want to do
This
it,
is like one of those stories like, yo, if you're 30 and still single, did no one else make that pact with someone in like high school? Open relationship? Oh, that is a spin. That is a spin. But did no one else make that pact in high school? It's like, yo, if we're 30 and still single. Reds, you're out of here.
we can always call it off at the altar. And she was like, oh my God, the drama. So that is what we're doing, I guess. Full on love is blinding my fake wedding. Or real wedding? To my straight best friend? I don't know, y'all. Start placing bets on how this goes down.
Yo, this might actually be
Update.
real, bro.
Update number 5. So hi, I said I would update this 2 years
This is
ago.
how these Reddit stories sound when they text them out.
Sorry about that. Frankly, I didn't think people really cared. But here's what happened. The wedding rolled around.
What do y'all think? Wait. What do y'all think? Do you think they broke up, or do you think they went through with it? Did they break up? They went through with it, and Annie realizes she's actually gay. She was like, or bi, like, yo, I was wondering when my boyfriend's D just couldn't hit the spot. That's because I like to be scissored. I don't want to be penetrated. I like to be scissored. They deaf together? She gonna say no at the venue? All right, put the predictions up. 1 of 3. They're together, and Annie realizes she's bi, number 1. Annie's not bi, but they're still together. Or 3, they break up completely.
We were at this really stunning mansion, and I was in one room getting ready with my mom. I had my dress on and my makeup done, and girls, I looked good. And my mom was getting emotional, and then I was getting emotional, and I realized that if Annie turned me down at the altar in front of my friends and family,
Oh,
we'd
that would be
spent months
freaking...
now spending every
Yeah,
waking
bro,
minute
even as a friend, that would hurt.
together while we pretended to be in a relationship. Well, I realized that I would be heartbroken, and then I knew that I couldn't go through with the wedding. I couldn't marry my straight best friend when I had feelings for her. It just wasn't fair to either of us.
Well, you have
So I went
feelings.
to the other side of the mansion where she was getting ready and asked her sister if I could talk to her. She left us alone and Annie walked out and, guys, I can't even describe how incredible she looked.
Oh.
She was wearing this really beautiful ornate dress and her hair was up off her neck and, God, she was like an art piece. And she just stared at me. I said, I need to tell you something, but before I could she put her hand on my waist and she kissed me. And guys, what a kiss. What a effing kiss. It was like coming up for air. I can't even tell you. So we got married. And it's 2 years later and after 2 rounds of IVF she is pregnant with our baby coming in a few months. My mother is delighted to be getting a grandchild. I laugh literally every day at our stupidest love story ever, and I guess I owe an apology to the, all of you who told me Annie wasn't straight cause at this point I'm starting to think maybe you were right.
Oh my gosh. Not just marriage, but that's a movie story right there. That's a Hallmark movie. That's a Hallmark movie, dude. And the grab by the waist and kiss? You need a fanfic with that one. Honestly, I think we need a spin for that. Charizard kissing in public, haram. No, I'm kidding. I don't even. That's haram, though? Spin the wheel? Yeah. Pokecraft, you are out of here. Next story.
My friend told me that I am creepy for dating my girlfriend because she hasn't developed after 8 years of age, so I am cutting ties with her and make her cry with jealousy. My girlfriend, Julie, has a weird obsession with cartoons. I don't mind it. She had a really rough childhood where she wasn't allowed to watch any children's shows. She only started watching after she turned 18 and moved out. She watches everything. But her most favorite ones are SpongeBob SquarePants, Powerpuff Girls, Phineas and Ferb, Teen Titans and many more. If I am being honest, I like this obsession of hers even if it is kinda weird to me to see a grown-up adult.
Who, like, grown-ups watching Teen Titans ain't that crazy. Powerpuff Girls, even Powerpuff Girls isn't that crazy.
Where she wasn't allowed to watch any children's shows. She only started watching after she turned 18 and moved out. She watches everything. But her most favorite ones are SpongeBob SquarePants, Powerpuff Girls, Phineas and Ferb, Teen Titans and many more. If I'm being honest, I like this obsession of hers even if it is kinda weird to me to see a grown-up adult watching a kid's show. But I think everyone should have a childhood which she clearly missed. So, last week, I threw a get-together at my house. I invited all of my friends. My best friend Rachel was also there. She has been my best friend for almost 15 years now. She has met Julie. And I never thought they had any bad blood between them. Rachel seems to really like Julie. So, at the party we were all having fun and playing games. I should mention that Rachel was wearing a fedora. Julie had to stay late for work that day. When she arrived, the party had already started. So when Rachel came to say hi she didn't have her fedora on her head. She put that hat on in front of Julie and Julie said in a mimicking Doofenshmirtz's voice Perry the Platypus. She thought this was funny because Rachel's last name is Perry. So, Julie made a joke that she only gets it. I smirked a little. But it seems to have caught Rachel off guard. When Julie went inside the room to change, Rachel, in front of everyone, told me my girlfriend was rude. I apologized and explained this is just a harmless joke she does and this is a line from her favorite TV show Phineas and Ferb.
Rude from a Perry the Platypus joke? Gang, what? Hey, yo, Rachel, you sound like a... From a simple... Whatever Perry the Platypus does? Like, what? Dude, what?
She didn't let it go. Instead, she started to press this matter even more. She asked me how can I date a literal child? And it is really embarrassing that she behaves like one. I told her that's just how she is. She'd doubled down and told me she finds it a little
she'd hate me, bro. I'd be walking around the house meowing for no reason sometimes. Meow, meow. 6'7". She'd hate my guts. Come on, now every time I find a new trend, I be on it. Because what do you want me to do with my time? What do you want me to do with my time? I got like at least 50, 60 more years to die. I'm bullshitting all the way through. 7'6", you're right. You're right, I'm too old. I'm too old for 6'7". I'm too old for 6'7". My God, my bad. That's why I only do 7'6", 7'6", 7'6", 7'6", 7'6".
Creepy that I am dating someone whose brain hasn't developed after 8 years of age. I find it a little offensive. Started to press this
because I'm watching a little bit of cartoons. My brain hasn't developed after 8 years of age. That is disrespectful. That is disrespectful. This is a great comment. Watching cartoons as an adult is weird. Who do y'all think makes cartoons? Thank you. Thank you.
She asked me how can I date a literal child? And it is really embarrassing that she behaves like one. I told her that's just how she is. She doubled down and told me she finds it a little creepy that I am dating someone whose brain hasn't developed after 8 years of age. I find it a little offensive because Julie is very smart and works in a STEM field. Rachel also made some odd and hurtful comments seeing my girlfriend's plushie and doll collection. When I tried to defend Julie, Rachel would just shrug and say I am your friend. I know what's best for you. She said I shouldn't date someone so immature like Julie and I am better off with someone more mature. I told her to mind her own business and that what Julie likes is none of her business. And my dating life is my choice. She should stay the fuck out of it. Rachel was giving me and Julie cold shoulders throughout the party. Later that day she messaged me and said she cannot believe I was such a jerk to her because of my girlfriend and that I am throwing away our friendship because of her. She hasn't talked to any of us. Julie made plans with Rachel to go on shopping but Rachel just said she is busy in a text and hasn't contacted her. Julie is sad too because she was excited for their shopping spree. I didn't tell Julie about our fight because she adores Rachel.
Nah, you gotta tell her, bro.
To know what Rachel has said about
you gotta tell her, bro.
I'm wondering if I went too far.
You gotta tell her.
I did talk to Rachel about it.
Cause she really being fake to Rachel in the first place. Or Julie. She being fake to Julie.
I did tell my girlfriend why Rachel was upset. Julie was not mad. Instead, she was very apologetic. She said if she knew Rachel would be upset of her little joke, she would have never said anything. She wants to apologize to Rachel. I tried to explain she has nothing to apologize for. She didn't do anything wrong. Instead, Rachel was the one who overreacted. But Julie put her foot down and invited Rachel on a dinner. Julie said sorry. She told Rachel about her childhood, about how her parents were strict and never let her have toys or let her siblings watch.
Julie is the only mature person here. What? Julie's the one who... Julie's got the cojones, bro. Let's go. Yo, I got a problem. I'll bring it up to you to your face. I'm going to apologize to you to your face. Damn. I don't need no one to tell me what to do. I'm in her. Big Jules in the chat.
Cartoon because they were academic nut who thought those things were too distracting. Julie even cried while telling some of the stories, one of which was when her father beat her because he found a book of Harry Potter under her bed. She escaped that place after she turned 18. Rachel was good and apologized as well. She said she didn't know Julie had such rough childhood and she was so insensitive towards her. I thought Rachel had finally learned her lesson, but when the dinner was done, Rachel took me out to talk privately. She told she is now 100% sure Julie is not right for me. I asked her why. She told me Julie has a lot of trauma and I shouldn't be the one to carry the burden. She thinks Julie's past is going to be a problem if we ever have kids. She might start abusing them too.
Oh my God.
I told her Julie.
So we can't be different. We can't do better for our kids because of what we went through. Holy shit. She clearly is working to process it. She can at least talk about it instead of just, yo, that's a spin for abuse. That is a spin. I'm about to... Rachel are gonna irk me, bro. Spit. Oh, you lucky. Wait. Oh my gosh.
Nothing like that. She is sweet and kind. She has been going to therapy because of her childhood trauma, so she shouldn't be too hard on her. I even asked if she was jealous of Julie. Rachel did fumble on her words while saying no.
There you go.
We got into an argument.
There you go. Rachel likes you. Rachel secretly likes you. Finally. She's mad that Julie's in there riding your wee-wee while doing the Perry the Platypus sounds. She's mad that she didn't think of it first. Fuck that bitch, Rachel. We don't like her anyway.
In the end, I told her I want some space from her. She has no right to dictate who is right or wrong for me just because she got it right 2 times. She always had problem whenever I dated someone. She has no right over me in my life. Rachel started crying. I called an Uber for her but didn't say a word beyond it. Rachel won't stop calling me. She was blaming Julie for ruining our friendship and accused her of being a cheater. I told Julie about the whole argument. She cried a lot because she never wanted her...
Accused Julie of being a cheater just because the term cheater was brought up? That's a spin. Julie ain't do nothing though, but still even to talk about it, haram. Hey yo, y'all are getting so lucky, bro. Copper 25682. Y'all are
little joke to escalate so far. But she agreed Rachel went too far. Rachel sent some very hurtful messages to me about Julie. I didn't tell those to her. Julie has also blocked Rachel. She was pissed too when she heard Rachel thinks Julie would also become an abuser.
Thank you.
To those people who said that Rachel never liking my ex is a red flag. Well, she has a good reason to not like them. Before Julie, I had 2 serious relationships before. My first ex cheated on me. Rachel warned me about her, but I brushed it off.
There we go. Get out of here, Tibbaloom. Sorry. Tibbaloom. Sorry about that.
My second ex was very controlling and toxic. When we broke up, she slashed my car tire. That's why I sort of think Rachel has good intuition about people. But not this time because I know she is wrong about Julie. And Rachel always had something to say whenever I wanted to date a girl. Even if she turns out to be right about Julie, I do.
You might just be bad at picking, gang. I ain't gonna hold you. Rachel, now I'm like, maybe Rachel's right. Maybe she can spot the signs before we all can spot them. Damn, nigga. Maybe you going for girls with trauma and she's like, nah, you did it again, bro. You did it again. Chill out. Slashing tires? Gotta be haram. Oh, vandalism. Yeah. Techie tech. You're out of here. Oh, wait, hold on. This is gonna be funny.
My coworker reported me to HR for harassment because I eat sexy potatoes at work. Now she's starting a war with me, but I am not backing down and reported her to the boss. My whole life, I've been eating potatoes by microwaving them, then biting into them, eating them hot dog style.
Oh.
This is the easiest.
Oh, wait, no, that is kind of, wait, hold on. Wait, what? Wait, what? You're telling me you're eating a hot potato? I mean, I guess, with the skin on and everything? That should be illegal? Bro, bro, gotta spin for that. Gotta spin for that. Gotta spin for that. Haram! Woo! That was scary. Eat this the one! You're out of here.
Most convenient and intuitive way to eat potatoes. I think this is how people in Japan eat them, or at least, how my Japanese parents taught me to eat them.
Okay.
Whenever I go to a grocery store, I always pick out the most easily bite-able potatoes, which are generally longer and thinner than most potatoes. So I work in an office of about 30 people. We all typically bring our lunch, and I usually just eat at my desk while working. No one has ever commented about how I eat potatoes.
I ain't gonna lie, whoever said you're eating sexy potatoes is a gooner. Gooner, bro. Gooner. Porn addict. To be looking at someone eating a potato hot dog style and be like, oh my God, you're turning me on right now. Stop. Oh, the whiteness just popping out the sides of the potatoes. You're really getting me juiced up. Oh, like that.
But I eat them frequently. A new person was hired recently, and she has a problem with how I eat potatoes. A couple of times, she pulled me aside and asked me to eat potatoes more normally. I asked her what she meant. She was eating potatoes too suggestively. I was shocked because I just had my eyes glued to my screen whenever I ate and barely paid attention to how I ate. I told her no one else seemed to have a problem with the way I eat potatoes, but she insisted others were just too polite to say anything. I asked a few other coworkers, who all were just as confused as me about what she was saying. I figured no one else had a problem with it. But this happened multiple times. She kept coming to me and asking me to tone down the way I eat, even accusing me of going out of my way to choose sexy potatoes. I considered bringing them other ways.
Nigga, what does that mean? Oh, please explain to me how you choose sexy potatoes. You freak. Like, how do you choose sexy potatoes, bruh?
But this is just the easiest way for me to eat them, and they're honestly delicious like this to me. I asked her to maybe just not watch me eat.
She's gotta have a food fetish, bro. Whoever's telling you this must have a food fetish. She's like, bro, you are choosing the potatoes you're choosing, bro. Too hot, too sexy, bro. They're making me, they're making my pussy wet. Please stop choosing those potatoes. Oh, please don't get that apple like that either. You brought a peach in? Stop. That one looks too juicy. I just want to lick up and down the peach, that ass crack on that peach. Oh, is that a Georgia peach? Oh, you know in Georgia they got fat asses down there. That's how they grow such big peaches. Stop bringing that to work. I'm gonna, I can't. The peach. Oh, the potato is busting in her mouth. Oh, I have to go to the bathroom.
But apparently, that's just not feasible. Unfortunately, she reported me, and now I have a meeting with HR next week.
How do you say this?
So I had a couple of meetings with HR. The first one was on my own yesterday morning, alone with the HR woman. According to her, a coworker had reported me for sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Not going to lie. After hearing those accusations, I was honestly pretty scared.
What?
Sexual harassment is a really serious...
Yeah. Spin for yeah, SH. Oh my gosh. Spin. Ref says spin till we get 3. Here we go. First spin lands on the Ghanaian, McKinley, the Spanish teacher lover, the one that has been trying to smash his Spanish teacher for 6 streams in a row. You're out of here. Next up is... Doesn't count. Spin again. Doesn't count. Next up is Yammers. You are out of here. Next. All right. Okay. Here we go. I think I put too many of these here, dude. All right. Okay. How many times are we going to land on this? Please just give it. All right. Me the man. You're out of here. All right, hold on. We got one Raccoon, Magic, Dominion, Titan, Perfect Pug, Moriyama, Spidey, Vin. All right, we need to delete some other stuff here, all right? Because, like, we got 16 things on the board, and half of them are people. I'm going to take away 2 gift subs, or 1 gift subs. I'm going to take away... I'll take away these gift subs, and I'll put gift 2. Hat, take away, take hat off. That's gone. That's better.
I was allegedly making lewd gestures while eating, despite repeatedly being asked to stop. I told her exactly what had happened. I was eating potatoes the same way I always had in my 4 years in this office. No one else had ever had a problem with this until now.
4 years?
A new coworker,
Bitch.
let's call her Karen, approached me, telling me I was eating potatoes inappropriately and told me to eat them another way. I explained
new
to her
here.
this was how I grew up eating them and would not stop. If it bothered her, she could, and should, look away. I continued eating potatoes this way, and over the
I'm
next
gonna stuff
several
in my
weeks,
ass next
she kept
time, too.
complaining about my potatoes every time I ate them this way. As I explained my side, I could tell HR was getting really annoyed. I don't think she believed this was all there was to it. She pressed for more information. Are you sure you didn't do anything to make her believe you were being inappropriate?
Dude,
Are you
no.
sure you weren't harassing her, even unintentionally? I told her I never even talked to her unless it was about work or if she approached me first. HR thanked me for coming in and told me she'd get back to me. I think she met with Karen after that. Then later in the day, we met with the 3 of us. Karen says that I lied about not doing anything to make her uncomfortable.
Bruh.
After the first time she came to me, asking me to eat my potatoes differently, I dismissed it as a joke. Which I acknowledged because, who wouldn't take it as a joke?
That's what
And
I'm
she
saying.
claimed that after each time she asked me to tone it down, I escalated by choosing increasingly sexy potatoes to eat in front of her, by which point, I'm pretty sure HR was trying hard not to roll her eyes.
Nah, she just getting turned on, bro. She just getting turned on. She's getting horny from your potato eating. You might have just opened up a new OnlyFans fetish. I ain't gonna hold you. I never even thought of this one until this moment here. I'm like, hold on, son. Maybe you don't have to pop pee. Maybe you don't have to pop ass. Maybe I don't have to show D. I can just... See the way that potato goes in there? See as the white stuff pops out of the side. Send 5. And I'll shove 5 hot dogs in at the same time. Going crazy, son. Going food AS. Why am I a YouTuber, bro? I'm in the wrong career. I want a nigga to nut on his screen to me eating food.
I responded by telling Karen the first gave zero thought about her when I bought my potatoes and selected them based on ease of cooking/eating. She accused me of making eye contact with her while I was eating, which I think I did every time she watched me eat, because it's really uncomfortable having someone watch me eat. Which I explained, and told her I had repeatedly asked her to stop watching me eat. She then pointed out that no one else eats potatoes this way, and the only reason I would do so is to try to be provocative. Which I swear to God, HR almost laughed at her. I just showed her a video of Japanese people eating potatoes with your hands and biting into them. HR woman knows me and knows I'm not the type to harass someone or deliberately make a hostile work environment, and at the end, she just said something like I'm sorry about the misunderstanding. Perhaps it would be best to look another way while your coworker eats. Trying to politely tell Karen to get her head out of her ass. Then Karen tried to turn it around by claiming I was making a hostile work environment by telling our other coworkers bad things about her. But literally all I had done was ask others if they were uncomfortable with the way I ate, and explaining why I had asked them. She tried yet another angle, claiming that the way I ate them was a COVID risk, and that I was jeopardizing the office's safety by eating this way. HR then said that if she was so concerned, she was welcome to work from home, as is currently company policy. Eventually, Karen conceded she had nothing left, so we were all dismissed. Later, I talked to my coworker who had stopped bringing curry because of Karen, let's call him Surya, about my problems with her. He had been unable to eat his regular Indian lunches in the office because of her. We were both extremely annoyed, and honestly, I just felt extremely uncomfortable being in an office where she was constantly judging Asian people's food. So I decided to file a report with HR, as suggested by many of you. She's lying.
That's a lie. Yeah. Lying? Yeah, that's a whack. Dude, what? Spidey boss? You are out of here. Spin for racism too? Is that illegal in Islamic law? Oh my God, dad came in. Oh my God, my dad came in when you said food and pee is the way. Had to tell him that you said food, especially corn, is the way to lose weight. Please don't shout when you're talking about You lying. For that, I'm spinning again, you freaking liar. You're lying, you liar. Tell him what I said. Be on. No, don't spin again. I was just joking. I was just joking. All right. I'm so happy. Thank you. We got Raccoon, Magic, Dominion, King, Perfect, Kuro, Moriyama, Vinta, and Copper.
I pointed out how she was harassing Asian people for their food choices and
nah, for real, she gotta go.
Were bordering on sexual harassment. Surya agreed to bring curry for lunch today, and, in solidarity, I brought some too, along with my potatoes. Karen didn't comment at all, but she did give us dirty looks and made disgusted faces a few times.
Karen.
I got called into a meeting this afternoon with my boss, who is also one of the company's founders. He confessed that he didn't like Karen either and that she had multiple complaints about her within the first month of her being hired.
There you go.
He had hired her as a favor to his wife, because she is his wife's cousin and had lost her job due to COVID. He apologized to me on her behalf and assured me that he would talk to her. I decided to keep my harassment claim with HR, and have another meeting tomorrow. We'll see how this goes. Thank you all for your tips and suggestions. I will keep eating sexy potatoes for the foreseeable future. Update, for some reason, she was always...
Nah. You gotta make them sexier. You gotta make them sexy. You gotta bring in potatoes and put a little dent in the back so it's got booty cheeks. You feel me? And then maybe put a little bikini on it. You know what I'm saying? And don't look her way, right? But on your screen, be watching like some food ASMR or something. I don't even know. Just bite and slowly take slow bites and chew loud. Yummy potato. Surya, how's your curry? Just be outlandish.
By this and claimed I was sexually harassing her by eating potatoes suggestively. Then reported me to HR for supposedly escalating over the weeks by deliberately choosing to eat increasingly sexy potatoes. She had also previously given another coworker, Surya, grief for bringing Indian food to the office, and he stopped for a while. I decided to file a counter-complaint to HR for cultural insensitivity and sexual harassment. So something I hadn't mentioned in the original post is that I'm a gay woman, which is known in the office.
Okay.
However, I didn't mention this because it wasn't relevant until now.
It wasn't.
Karen lost it the other day when Surya brought a lovely tikka masala to share. She's done this before the pandemic and the kitchen is separate from the rest of the office, so you can't actually smell anything microwaved unless you're in the kitchen.
That's not illegal. That's not illegal in Middle East, right?
She said it was really rude of him to keep bringing curries to the office and that no one confronted him because they were trying to be polite. He said in his home country, really well-spiced curries were extremely common. People bring them/microwave them in the office all the time, and it's among some of the most popular takeout foods. He had no reason to believe it wouldn't be the same here. Karen snapped back that we weren't in India, but Surya just said he was from London. Karen didn't really have a response to that. Karen confronted me in the parking lot after my HR complaint, claiming I was trying to spite her with the hard-boiled eggs I had eaten at lunch, even though I'm definitely not the only one who eats them in the office. I guess
they do stink though.
Too? She said my harassment complaint was discriminating against her for being Christian and I was making her deliberately uncomfortable by throwing my sexuality in her face, but she knew she couldn't say that because she'd be called homophobic. I honestly had no idea she was uncomfortable with gay people, but she said that my putting a pride sticker on my laptop a few days after she started working here was the start of my escalation. According to her, my behavior was retaliatory to her having Bible verses on her desk. Then here's the kicker. Apparently I was using my girlfriend, my relatively high-pitched voice, and my eating to get men in the office to lust after me, implying that Japanese/Asian women try way too hard to be sexually appealing. I would have gone off on her for being homophobic and racist, but I was tired and told her if my existence was bothering her, that's not my problem and she should just work from home. I also subtly mentioned that maybe this was why she was laid off from her last job. Well, she filed another harassment claim, saying I was targeting her for religious discrimination. Like, goddamn, I just want to eat my perfectly innocent food in peace. And somehow it turned into a whole religious and racial war. I told HR what had happened, and then Karen claimed I was trying to paint her in a bad light. My boss later talked to me privately and apologized. I think Karen is now working remotely since I haven't seen her since last week.
Fire her, bro. Forget your wife's cousin.
My innocuous eating, my sexual orientation, or my race again, I'll definitely file another complaint with HR, but for now, I think I'm content with eating sexy potatoes and eggs in peace.
Holy smokes. That's gotta be at least one. Ref says 3? Oh my god. Karen's a bigger hater than Rachel. I thought Rachel was bad from that last story. Karen? Dog. Ref says 3. Ref, people are against you. They said how? Lying, LGBTQ, and what does sh mean? S.O. harassment. Spin away! You are out of here. King Titan, out of here. Wow. Last but not least, free space. Raccoon, Dominion, Perfect, Kuro, Moriyama, Venta, and Copper. You are the last ones up on the list.
I
Okay,
proposed to my girlfriend, and out of nowhere, she thought it was finally time to
3 more vids? Yeah. I'm waiting until we get to the last person. I doubt it'll be more than like 2 or 3 vids, right?
Me to her secret inner circle of friends, and now I'm already thinking about ditching this relationship. I, 32 male, just recently proposed to my girlfriend Sharon, 30 female, of 2 years, like a month and a half ago, and it feels like the second the ring got on her finger, her attitude and behavior took a total 180. The entire time we were dating, we seemed exceptionally compatible, and at least it seemed we shared common beliefs and morals. 7 weeks ago, I proposed and she said yes, and I felt like it was the happiest moment for the two of us.
Nice.
But not even a week later, it's like her attitude totally flipped. I thought I knew all her friends, but one day I came home and there were 6 women I've never seen before, and Sharon introduced me to them. I was curious as to why I was just now meeting them, when I already met Sharon's 2 best friends, Michelle and Octavia, both not present, over a year and a half ago. Sharon said she wanted to make sure we were a sure thing before I met her inner circle. I found it strange, not to mention it was a weeknight and they were quickly draining my wine rack of wine. Sharon still had her own place, but she stayed with me so often that she practically lives here. I still found it really
After I marry you, inner circle? Like, I understand get close to you, but after I married you? After I proposed? No. That's crazy.
When they left, leaving behind 4 empty bottles. I tried to discuss with Sharon about having uninvited guests on weeknights, but she brushed off my concerns very casually. It just felt like she didn't take me seriously at all. The following weeks she went out with the girls several times, and she brought the girls to my place twice without notice, once with notice to appease me, her words, they all treated me like a butler, shaking their empty wine glasses at me for refills. After the 4th time, I made it clear that I will get a locked wine rack. Sharon just called me no fun after that. It gets worse. Sharon decided me and the girls got off on the wrong foot, and said we should have dinner together at a nice restaurant.
And they gonna get to the restaurant? They gonna get to the restaurant, and I'm gonna have to pay. Oh my gosh. So, wait. So we're all fine. Then I propose to Sharon. I think we get married at this point. Or I proposed to her, and then she finally introduces me to her friends who are absolutely toxic, who come into my house, drink all my wine, and then leave the dirty stuff for me to clean it up and treat me like a butler. And after I said to let me know, Sharon keeps bringing them over to drink all of my wine. Keep in mind, no orgies are happening here. I'm getting nothing from this. Lastly, she's about to invite me to dinner, and I swear if she says you should fuck the bill, I'm gonna stick my foot up her ass. There's no way. Drinking, haram. Raccoon, out of here. Raccoon be lasting long, and Raccoon got some magic spell, because I don't know how you keep doing this. Right, and they all about to order, watch, they're gonna order lobsters, filet mignon, freaking massive sushi platters, ace of spades bottles.
I went, and it was not great. The 6 kept prodding me about my life, my house, my career, but deflected every single question I asked. It got especially bad at night.
Oh, they want to see if you're good for sharing.
Relationships and jealousy, and one of them brought up some key points about relationships that I thought Sharon and I were on the same page about, specifically what ifs regarding polyamory and being friends with exes. To my shock, Sharon's
polyamory. Hold the Whoa. That's a spin. To even bring that up is a spin. And where is this about to go? Are they trying to like lure him? Wait, maybe this is going to end in an orgy. Maybe this could be good for our OP. Hold on, dog. Wait. Poly isn't a crime, though. I think in Islamic law, stepping out of your marriage, adultery, fornication, premarital relationships are prohibited. Vinta Gaming, out of here. He not being a part of it. Oh my God! You think they're actually gonna say that she should be the one to be polyamorous, and he should just be a cuck? I'm about to cry for him. I'm trying not to cry. Oh, that's just. Oh, that's so sad.
Said we shouldn't be too hasty on such decisions, which was a total 180 to how she expressed herself on these things only a month prior, where she was vehemently against keeping ex-intimate partners in friend circles and was strictly monogamous. The worst part was when the bill arrived, Sharon announced
hold on.
jealousy, and one of them brought up some key points about relationships that I thought Sharon and I were on the same page about, specifically what ifs regarding polyamory and being friends with exes. To my shock, Sharon said we shouldn't be too hasty on such decisions, which was a total 180 to how she expressed herself on these
So she wants to be friends with exes and whoa!
A month prior, where she was vehemently against keeping ex-intimate partners in friend circles and was strictly monogamous.
Yeah, I would say her friends are manipulating her, bro. I think she's trying to act cool in front of her friends. You know what I'm saying? And that's not good, because if they're her close circle, they're going to be around a lot and they will influence her to do some crazy things. If all your friends are, she going to be the sixth.
Arrived, Sharon announced it should be together and slid me the check. I told her she can't be serious, and we got into a bit of an argument. I ended it by putting my amount down in cash and walked out, leaving them to figure out the rest of the bill. The next days after that, Sharon kept calling me toxic and fragile, but every time I even pushed at it, she would give an apology and promise she was just stressed at work. It's nuts. We haven't even planned the wedding yet. The worst part was this Monday, when at work, I got a Nest doorbell alert, checked and saw Sharon and one of her 6 new friends arriving at my place, going in, and exiting with my golf clubs. This set was a gift from my father, and it cost a pretty penny too, so Sharon lending it out without my permission got me pissed.
Stealing! Theft! Copper 25,682 haram!
I immediately called Sharon and told her and her friend to return the clubs. Sharon tried to gaslight me with, but you promised to lend the clubs to her boyfriend, remember?
No.
I told her the clubs cost would move it into a serious crime, and her friend had an hour to return them or the cops would be called.
Oh.
Sharon insisted she got my permission and I told her to cut the crap.
Hell no.
Not 45 minutes later I got another notification of Sharon and her friend coming back with the clubs and going inside, leaving them, and then Sharon's friend flipping off the Nest doorbell on the way out.
Oh, don't be mad now.
I got home and saw Sharon's friend literally just threw the clubs right on the living room floor. Sharon tried to talk to me about my toxicity again, and I told her again to cut the crap.
She gaslighting,
I said if I knew this was how she was, I would have never proposed. That seemed to freak her out, and she again insisted that she was stressed from work, but I wasn't buying
none of that.
anymore.
Her friend's stressing her out, bro. She feels like she needs to act like the old her when she was with them. Sharon, cut them off. That's not you, Sharon. Cut them off. Stop lying for them, bro. We can move into your new life. It's either them or me, Sherry. It's them or me. Fed with the gift of the copper. Let's go. Damn, Fed. You have 9 gifted subs in the channel, bro. That's a lot, dude. Thank you. I told
her to return the ring and her key, and we would talk about our relationship this weekend. She cried and begged me not to cancel the engagement, and insisted that it was stress. I told her again we will talk about it this weekend. She finally relented. I had my house rekeyed anyways after she left, just to be safe. Sharon has been texting me constant messages of love and apologies for getting swept up, and insisted she was only wanting to show me off to her close friends. I don't know, I'm just not buying it. The same close friends have been sending me texts daily, calling me toxic and fragile again, saying they knew I wasn't man enough for Sharon or secure enough to share her with friends. A few of my friends that knew Sharon the entire 2 years we were dating were surprised and can't believe she turned hide this quick, and that there must be something missing, or that I am leaving something out. They say I must have said something to trigger her friends to act like this, and I had to have been the jerk somewhere along the process. I don't know, it's a lot to take from all directions right now. I feel like everyone is playing a prank on me or something. Literally, how does this happen? Update 2 days later, Sharon's been gone now for an hour. The breakup is official, I have the ring back. I did talk to Michelle via Facebook and Michelle said her and Octavia were cousins of Sharon, and Michelle also said she knew the 6 and didn't care for them. Michelle didn't say much more than that. I did meet Sharon's parents, and they both seemed to like me, and the topic of Michelle and Octavia never came up around them. None of our finances were intermingled, yet, but it was planned for later this month, which won't ever happen now. I invited 3 of our mutual friends, Casey, John, and Mike, to be here when Sharon got here. Sharon showed up and was surprised to see we had company. I said they were here for both of our sakes. Sharon wanted to phone 3 of the 6 to come over to even things out and I refused, and I used the club theft as a reason. Sharon sat on the couch very dramatically and then asked if I really wanted to make this public. I outright asked why she changed so much after the engagement, and why she hid the existence of the 6. Sharon then went in again about how she insulates her inner circle until a partner is vetted. I called bull crap. I met her parents. What's more inner circle than parents?
Come on now.
Sharon tried to deflect but I wouldn't have it. I pointed out how for the last month, her friends dropping by cost me nearly $500 in wine, which she by the way made no attempt to reimburse. I also pointed out her trying to make me pay an 8-person dinner bill without asking me first. She again said she wanted to show how great a guy I was, and how she clearly misjudged me and was disappointed in my attitude. I then asked about—
That's what makes me a great guy? Paying for— oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You must have told them that I'm Santa Claus. Right? That, like, because I want to blow everything on you guys and use my hard-earned money for your life, people I barely know. That's what would make me a great guy. He's a great guy, guys. He'll cover everything for us. Is that what a great guy is? I'm really trying to understand it right now. Right? Like, he's not loving, he's not caring. He beats me every day, but like, he pays for everything. He's great, dude. He's great.
She tried gaslighting with you, totally said it was okay, remember? And I kept saying bull crap. Mike piped in. He knew the clubs were a gift from my dad and I was highly protective of them. He too called bull crap, and that's when Sharon turned her attention to Mike and John, saying, isn't he getting forgetful lately? Don't you remember when he forgot that one date? And neither of them was buying it. I finally said forget postponing the wedding and canceling the engagement.
Hell
the
yeah.
relationship is going to end if she isn't going to be straight with me. Sharon made a very long exaggerated sigh. She took the ring off and dropped it on the coffee table. She got up to leave and said you're never going to find someone as good as me, and to send her stuff to her apartment. She left, and Casey, John and Mike were totally stunned. All I could say was believe me now? Then we just ordered some pizza. I am still shocked and confused by her attitude. I'm sure the heartbreak will come next, but right now, I'm just kind of numb. I still feel like this isn't real lol.
Holy smokes. That was a deep one right there, man. Sharon. Bro, her inner circle was literally the Sinister Six. Nah, like literally, bro. Was that her witch's coven or something? Like, I feel like a good guy would be someone who tries to pay for someone when he don't have much themselves. Like, don't get me wrong. If you got $0 in your bank account and you're trying to pay for someone, you're not necessarily being a good guy, right? Or you're trying to like please someone. You're not necessarily being a good, you're just being a people pleaser, right? But if he had really done it himself and was like, you know what, I'll pay for everyone. Yeah, that would have been kind of nice. But to force it on me, like, nah, he'll do it, bro. Don't worry, ladies. Drink all you want. Get everything you need. This is him. Hell no. No, bro. With no talk beforehand? Gang.
A woman ripped out my...
What is a... I actually don't know what that is. Oh, hearing aid.
A woman ripped out my cochlear implant.
This one's short.
A woman ripped out my cochlear implant and broke it when she thought
Illegal?
I was ignoring her at the grocery store. Now she's quite literally going to pay for her entitlement. I, 18M, was...
Yeah, that's a spin already, isn't it? That's a spin already, isn't it? Moriyama! Top 3!
Born with a deformity around and inside my ears. So one side is completely closed up and the other only allows me to have 50% of my hearing ability. My parents got me cochlear implants as soon as they could, and they have been a tremendous help. Especially since without them, if there are too many noises around me, it tends to hurt really badly. Yesterday I was out shopping with my parents at Costco, and it was very loud and busy because of Thanksgiving. The noises were giving me a headache, so I turned the volume down on my implant. I was wandering around the frozen aisle, and at one point I saw a woman push her cart over and bumped her cart into mine.
I ain't gonna lie, that's really cool. Right? Like, to be able to turn the volume down when you don't want to hear people is actually, like, really cool. I don't know the thought of that. Like, I kind of, like, to be able to be like, all right, bro, I just want to tap out. Like, vloop. Like, think about it. You can't really not hear. Like, you could put on headphones, but you can't really, like, stop from hearing. You know, like you have to hear, bro. Like, you have to. Damn. But so he could just be like, you know what? Right? Blessing and a curse.
I didn't think about it much as it was so busy. Only a minute later I felt someone reach for my ear and yank my implant out. It sent a high-pitched tone through my ear, and I felt so much pain. I grabbed my ear and screamed as all I could hear was a ringing echo. Apparently I screamed really loudly as everyone started staring at me, and my parents came running. I looked over and saw the same woman standing above me, and staring in horror. I was so confused as to what had just happened. My dad tried to reattach the implant behind my ear, but it just wasn't working. Thankfully, the pain wore off as soon as my ear adjusted, and I saw my mom freaking out at the lady, who had her hands up defensively. A worker came over and tried to separate them. Eventually security came over and escorted the woman away. My mom signed to me that we were going home and that dad was going to stay behind and deal with something. It wasn't until we got home that my mom explained to me that apparently the woman was asking me over and over again to move my cart out of her way, and thought I was ignoring her, so she ripped out my implant, thinking they were earbuds.
You don't touch even my earbuds. You don't touch even my earbuds, right? You don't rip something out of my ear, bro. Like, you don't do that. It's a simple, like, to get my attention, you could wave your hand in front of my face. You know what I'm saying? You could even use your finger in. Not that hard, right? But to get so aggravated, like, I'm not your kid. Nigga, don't rip nothing out my ear. Oh my God. That should have been I would swing if someone tried to take out my earbuds, and rightfully so.
Threw them on the ground. She rolled her eyes and told me that that was the lady's story anyway, and didn't believe she only threw the implant onto the ground as they were smashed and unusable now. That's why my dad had stayed behind, to wait for the cops since the lady refused to accept responsibility, or give her name to them, as my parents were going to make sure she either paid to fix them or get me a replacement. My dad arrived home about an hour later saying everything would be fine, as the cops got her information and told us to go through our insurance, or get a lawyer and sue her. He said he already called both and is waiting to hear back. Now I'm stuck with a bunch of pain in my ear until we can get me a new implant.
Oh my god.
A woman ripped.
Dude. Vandalism too? Damage to property. Dominion! Out of here! Dworking. Perfect pug. Is Kuro gonna do it again? Yo, if Kuro does this twice, dude's gotta be king of roulette.
My employee has a savior complex and would not stop trying to save me from my abusive husband, so I reported him to the HR and got him to resign. I am a supervisor of a small team at work. I always get good leadership reviews and think I foster a pretty healthy team dynamic. Okay. Well, I have a coworker, 35 meters, on said team, and about 3 weeks ago he approached me and said he had a personal question he wanted to talk about. I keep my personal life pretty distant from work but keep an open door for them to come to me with anything personal that may impact their work, like needing a smaller workload to deal with things at home or anything like that, so this wasn't totally abnormal. We went to my office and without reiterating the entire conversation, he said he noticed some bruising hidden by makeup and hair, and some faintly broken blood vessels by the corner of my eye. He asked if I was being abused and offered to help me if I was. To make it very clear, I'm not being abused. I have an amazing husband, and we've been experimenting in the bedroom. Oh. It's gotten a little rough, and I bruise easily. Oh. That's all there is to it. I told him how much I appreciate his offer of support and tried to lighten the mood by saying his attention to detail is part of why he's great at his job. But I made it very clear that I am completely safe and there is nothing to worry about. I didn't think I could exactly explain the bruises without getting a mandatory intimate harassment course. And I didn't want to explain my intimacy life to a coworker. He apologized. I assured him it was fine and good to know he would watch out for me, and we got back to work. I got a better concealer and thought that was the end of it. But for the next week he just wouldn't let it go. I kept noticing him staring, trying to see if I had any bruising or signs of abuse. He would make woke comments about women overcoming abuse, would give me sympathetic looks. It was all just so uncomfortable. So I called him into my office last week and told him again that
leave me alone.
And would appreciate it if our working relationship returned to normal. Then he went off on me with stats about abuse and how I can't deny it or hide it and he can save me. I just got a bad feeling about it, and frankly I got kinda defensive. Without much thought, I just calmly told him, if you must know, I have an active intimacy life, and a husband who is willing to try new things, and I've always bruised easy. I'm sure you can put that all together, so please just drop the savior complex.
Alright.
It shut him up pretty quickly and he left. Since then, his behavior has changed again and he's been hostile towards me, is withholding work I need from him so I can do my job, taking me off email chains I need to be in, etc. I decided to go to HR and explain the entire thing.
He wanted you and he thought that was his chance in. Let me see if I can play fucking Clark Kent. Bitch.
She said this was a first in her career, and when I told her I'd accept any consequences of my little blow up on him, she held back and laughed and said I had nothing to worry about. Sure, I could have brought it to HR right then, but they probably wouldn't have been
Captain save a hoe, bro. Save a hoe. He be trying to save hoes from the streets usually, and he's like, let me try something different.
Do much to change his behavior. I don't know what conversation they had with him, but he turned in his letter of resignation 2 days later, and that's that.
Wow.
Just a weird couple of weeks and I stumped a damn good HR pro.
Damn.
My girlfriend threatened to break up with me for having a trans guy as a roommate because he is a woman. Now, she cannot believe that I called her bluff. Oh shit. 22 has a roommate, Alex, who
abuse mentioned? That's 2 spins. 2 spins? All right, best of 3. The working session. Send this to somebody who's looking for a relationship. Hey, I hear you're looking for somebody. I just want you to know that you should never give up. You should never give up. You'll find the right one. They're out there for you, my friend. And you are enough. Yeah, you are enough. You're going to find the perfect partner for you. They're going to be loyal, loving, take care of you, and you're going to take care of them. You're going to live happily ever after. Yes, I said it. Happily ever after. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. Let's get back to it. I hope that was a motivational dorking session for you. All right, last two on the board. Kuro and Perfect Pug.
In about 6 months ago. I honestly never considered Alex to be trans, not that I would care if he was, but that's not the issue. He is a short guy and probably under 165 centimeters /5'5", has a lot of facial hair and muscles, and looks a lot like a short Henry Cavill in my opinion. No one I know has ever brought up this idea before. I've had my friends and family at our apartment before. This is really the part that gets to me because my mom is highly against gay people, and if she sensed anything was up, she would have caused problems.
Oh, one more spin for LGBT? Oh, hold on, this story was getting good. One more spin on top of it. Kuro. If it lands on you, you are out. Other person gets the point. First point goes to Kuro. Kuro's up 1-0.
Right away. Alex and I get along. We're polite but not really friends. He's quiet but super polite, always pays rent on time, helps with chores, and even shares his cooking with me. I appreciate having him around, especially because my last 3 roommates were each their own horror story. The issue came up when my girlfriend Sarah, 28, came over one day. Alex was shirtless. To clarify, I forgot to tell Alex she was coming over, and she noticed the scars on his chest. After that, she was quiet and short with me during her entire stay there.
So you think we were having some rough sex?
She blew up my phone, asking why I had a female living with me. I was confused and asked what she was on about. She says that she knows that his scars are from top surgery and that he is short, so he has to be trans and a born female. I tried to explain that even if Alex is trans or a born female, there is no way I'd be attracted to him because, to any person who looked at him, you would see a freaking guy. Plus, he's respectful and doesn't cause drama like my last roommate, whom she knows about. Just to be clear, I honestly still have no idea if Alex is even trans. I googled it, and those scars could be from some other surgery, like heart surgery or gynecomastia, and I really don't argue with him being short, but there are a lot of short men. At first, Sarah wanted me to just ask Alex if he was trans, which, why the fuck would I do that, or give her his last name so she can run a background check. I said no to both. Then she said this was a
I need to run a background check on this nigga right now.
violation of trust, and that if I didn't either find out Alex is trans or just kick him out, she would have to reevaluate things. Basically, it's threatening to break up. That's a spin?
What? That's a spin? What is that? Why is that a spin? For the background check because she wildin'? All right, here comes the spin, man. Oh my gosh. Second point goes to Perfect Pug. 1-1 on the board.
Don't do ultimatums and that we're done. Since then, she's been messaging me every single day for over 2 weeks. Give her his last name so she can run a background check. I said no to both. Then she said this was a violation of trust and that if I didn't either find out Alex is trans or just kick him out, she would have to reevaluate things. Basically, it's threatening to break up. I said I don't do ultimatums and that we're done.
Bars.
Since then, she's been messaging me every single day for over 2 weeks, even after I blocked her on everything because she wouldn't leave me alone. Damn. That I wouldn't do this small thing for her. She ranges from, are you fucking him? Let's just talk. Why can't you at least give me closure and ask him? To the most recent, her telling our mutual friend about the situation. Our friend wants nothing a part of this poop show. I didn't feel bad at first, but after talking about it online, I've had some people say I should have just asked my roommate if he was indeed trans just to keep the peace, or that I shouldn't have essentially picked my roommate.
Nah, this seems like a bigger problem.
6 months over my girlfriend of 5 years. I wonder if I'm being unreasonable. I legitimately do not see how any straight dude could find Alex attractive, personally, but maybe I should have done something just to keep the peace. Small update, I talked to Alex. I got advice saying to be upfront and tell him what's up completely, hide the trans part, and that I just shouldn't tell him. I don't know if this was the right thing, but I just told him, because once I was face to face with him I couldn't really help but do it. To clarify, I did not ask him about his scars or mention that specifically. I said my ex-girlfriend was under the impression he was a trans person, made sure to say I didn't care if he was or wasn't, and that I broke things off, changed the gate codes, put her on the do not let in list, all that. Drama. Before even saying anything, he asked if I was okay. Like I said, he is a chill dude. He also not so subtly asked the same questions that a lot of comments asked, essentially if I was in an abusive situation. I told him I didn't know, but whatever kind of situation it was over.
Is he going to answer the question?
Bugged with me is that he called me his best friend. I regret not saying we were close in other comments. I realize now we have different definitions of close because he is introverted, and I'm not. We talked about irrelevant stuff for a while, and then the question came up, would you care if I was trans? To summarize things, yes, Alex is trans mask. He had top surgery when he was 19 and has been on hormones since he was 18. He even has a tattoo with the date he started testosterone. While the idea that he could have been a dude with gyno, cancer, or something else is completely reasonable, it just happens that Alex is trans. And I don't care about that. Alex is Alex. Notes, Alex is going to help me out with finding some low-cost or pay-scale therapy because he personally hasn't heard good things about the college's therapy services. Like everyone else has said, yes, it was abuse. I see that. I will also hold higher standards for myself in the future. Alex sent me the information for the therapist he sees, and I'll contact them in the morning. The landlord knows there is a domestic incident, and I trust him to make sure my ex doesn't show up. For this reason, the do not allow list was made. I am not ready to talk to my mom about this, but I hope with some therapy and time, I will be. She knows something is going on.
Abuse?
But she believes this is a break and not a breakup. Update 2. I talked to the therapist Alex recommended. Normal.
Are we sure, Chad? I see them yell at their wives all the time. Is that haram? We will spin at the end. We will spin at the end.
I would be on the wait list until January, but due to the situation, the therapist referred me to one of his associates, and I'll be seen as early as next week. I also was recommended to attend a domestic violence support group that gathers once a month. I was originally not going to go because the idea was uncomfortable as fug, but Alex said he'd go with me, so at least I'll know someone there. We can leave if it's too weird for me. My mom is aware of the breakup. She is not too happy. I did not mention the trans part. I said that Sarah was being controlled, and I didn't want to put up with it anymore. Got the usual that's a normal part of any relationship comments, but I stood my ground. My mom seems to be under the same delusion as Sarah that this is a small argument or something and we will get back together. But that is not happening. I don't talk to Sarah's mom, so I don't know her thoughts. The landlord knows the situation and will not let Sarah in should she try to show up. If you don't have the gate code, you have to go to the main office, and the employee will buzz the person in if they are on your accepted people list or call the tenant and ask if they aren't on the list. If the individual is on the do not let in the list, especially if it involves a criminal matter, they will be asked to leave. If they don't leave, then it becomes trespassing. I know this sounds like a lot, but the security is why many people live here. Going forward, if I date again, then I won't put up with any physical or verbal abuse. After a lot of talking, it turns out Alex and I have been friends this whole time, but because I've never had an introverted friend before, I didn't exactly
know what it was like.
Alex says he didn't want to annoy me by trying to chat with me all the time, which ironically is what I was feeling. Now we're going to hang out more, and he is trying to get me to join the D&D game he is in.
Nice. So are we going to ignore that he's 22 and has been dating a woman 6 years older than him since he was 17? Groomer! Gotta be a spin. Last and final point, the Nigerian one. Perfect Pug, the absent dog man, won. Who will walk away with this W if Kuro wins this? This will be his second roulette win, I think, in a week. The winner of this competition is... Nigerian has walked away with a W. Let's go.